tonight. Give it up for Jeff Greenspan, everybody. Come on.
How is everybody doing here tonight? Any other native New Yorkers here? All right, good. I'm a native New Yorker as well, but I spent a lot of time living in San Francisco. And San Francisco is a really great city to perfect your gaydar. And if you're not familiar with what gaydar is, it's having the ability to just know when somebody's gay. And my gaydar was so bad, I didn't know I was gay until I was 34. So I had to tweak it a little bit. I see a lot of straight male comedians come up onto stages like this, and they make being gay the punchline of their joke. And that's fine. I don't think anything is off limits. I think you can make fun of everything and anything. But I don't think these guys know how hard it is to be gay. Even with all the strides that we've made in this country, being a gay man today is still very difficult. Being gay means that every day, at any moment of the day, I can get a blowjob. And that's a very distracting way to go through life. Me being with you here right now means right now I'm choosing to not have a blowjob. Discipline. I was in a gay bar in San Francisco and somebody spiked my drink. I got the date rape drink. And then they didn't fuck me. Do you know how that shatters your confidence? When somebody calls an audible on your rape? It's crushing. Some friends have asked me, Jeff, when did you know you were gay? I knew after this one particular date with this woman. We were on our third date. We were back at her place. We were naked on the couch. And she was really pushing for me to have sex with her. And I said, you know, I don't think we should. It's Passover. If you use Passover as a way to get out of having sex with a woman, you're a gay man. And I've never let Judaism keep me from having sex with a man. I mean, I've had gay sex at a bar mitzvah. I mean, not with the kid. Yeah. With the dad. Serious. There's a lot of dilfs at bar mitzvahs. You can find them. Bar mitzvahs, Passover. I was raised Jewish. And my middle name is so Jewy. It's like the most Jewish name. Ira. Ira. You can't get more Jewish than Ira. I'm literally named after a tax shelter. Who does that? Why would they do that? I'm 46 years old, and I've never seen this country more torn apart than it is right now, and it scares me. And I think the only way we're going to be able to move forward is if everybody unites. I mean, everybody. Blacks, whites, gays, straights, even Republicans and Democrats. We all have to get together and decide, are we going to swipe our credit cards or insert the chip? We're being torn apart. Donald Trump has gone to great lengths to tear us apart as well. He uses fear. He wants us to fear each other. He wants us to fear Mexicans. He tells us that Mexicans are going to take our jobs. Let me tell you something. Mexicans are not going to take your jobs. Robots are going to take your jobs. And once the robots have all the jobs, trust me, Mexican robots are going to take their jobs. It's going to happen. Lazy Mexican robots. Sleeping on the factory floor. I'm anxious about the way the world is going, but I try to look on the bright side and remind myself that now every building is a pre-war building. So that's good. You gotta take the good where you can get it. Got to. I'm just really glad that Chris Christie's dignity isn't alive to see any of this. It'd be bad. Donald Trump says he wants to build a wall that goes across the entire border between Mexico and America. I don't think Americans are going to go for that, but I think they would go for one giant Walmart that went across the whole border. And the white American shoppers can come and go through the north, and the brown Mexican workers can come and go through the south, and it would be like what he's proposing now, but instead of border guards, we'd have friendly, elderly Walmart greeters. They're so much nicer. I'm against Walmart, in all honesty, and I hope that you guys are too, because they try to bust up the unions, and I think as workers, we all have to stick together. Do you guys agree with me on this? Yeah, that's why every time I see striking picketers, I always have my Uber driver honk to show my support. You should support them. Have to support them. I don't want to bring the room down at all, but I want to share this with you guys because it's true, and because it might help somebody who's in the audience. For a long time, I went through a very severe depression. And for me, depression was not being sad. For me, depression was not feeling anything at all the time. And after a year of that, I became really obsessed with suicidal thoughts. And I was convinced that I was going to kill myself. But I realized that I was never going to kill myself. And I realized that when I took stock of this one fact. Every time I get Chinese food, I get the brown rice. And people who are going to kill themselves never get the brown rice. Brown rice means there's hope. Brown rice means I want to stick around for tomorrow. When I was going through this depression, I only had one single friend, and he was depressed too, and we were trying to help each other through our situation. And I said to him one day, I go, would you ever go into a suicide pact with me? And he said, you know, I would, but I'm in a suicide pact with somebody else. And that was the lowest. That was the lowest. I used to live in Manhattan, I don't anymore, but I used to live on 11th Street across from this place called Webster Hall, where people from New Jersey like to come in and party. And they would park their cars in front of my apartment and blast music while they pregame. And so I would go down at 1 in the morning and say, hey guys, can you keep that down? And they would say, no, faggot. But I developed a way to get them to cooperate with me. What I did is I created a fake 3-year-old daughter. And I would go downstairs and I would say, hey guys, I've got a 3-year-old daughter and she just fell asleep. Can you guys turn that down? And they would always say yes. But I'm such a stickler for story that she's now 6. And I refuse to vaccinate her. I won't do it. So it's causing all these problems at the fake PTA that I've created. I did leave New York, and I left New York because of the noise. And it wasn't the noise of the music, and it wasn't even the construction or the sirens. It was this one particular voice. It was this one voice I would hear out of multiple different women's mouths. And I'm going to share with you some of the things I overheard in the voice that I overheard them. That Chipotle is a really good one. Same voice, different woman's mouth, on a date with a guy. Guy says to her, hey, when's your birthday? And she says, in this voice, I don't think I really have a birthday because I was a C-section. So I have a day that I was taken out, but I wouldn't call it a birthday. And I overheard that same voice out of another woman's mouth, not too far from here. This is what I overheard this woman say. I think that short, bald guy's listening to us. So I had to leave. I want to leave you with one piece of information that I hope helps you guys out. I used to work at Facebook. And if you have Facebook and you have an iPhone and you have Facebook running on your iPhone, your phone overhears everything you say throughout the day, even when it's in your pocket. And then Facebook serves you up information and advertising based on what it hears throughout the day. And a lot of people don't know you can turn this off. And if you have an iPhone, this is how you do it. You go to Settings, you go to General, you go to Privacy, scroll all the way down, and then throw your phone in the ocean. That's the only way you're going to be able to stop it. Speaking of phones, this is the longest I've been off mine in a long time. I'm Jeff Greenspan. Thank you very much.